This is the place where you can finally pour your heart out and vent. 3 days ago, my grandpa passed away. He was 78. He had 2 kids, my mom and my uncle. I'm 23, and until this week, I thought I was the youngest in the family. We're a big clan, but right at the memorial service, a full-on family scandal broke out. Turns out my grandpa had a 4-year-old daughter with a woman who used to work as a housekeeper. That woman is gone and nobody knows where she disappeared to. So now there's this little girl, Lena. She's tiny, quiet, and completely alone. And my family, they hate her. At the funeral, not one person looked at her. She sat curled up in a corner like she wanted to disappear. The only discussion anyone had about her was how nobody wanted to take her in. The family basically agreed, straight to foster care. I don't know what came over me, but I just snapped. I walked up to her, crouched down, smiled, and asked, "Do you want to live with me?" She didn't say a word, just gave the smallest nod. That was it. That same evening, Lena came home with me. Before that, she'd been staying at my cousin's for a couple of days. My cousin literally handed me her little backpack with a good luck and washed her hands of it. And now, my entire life is upside down. My friend was deported and then killed. Some people say crossing the border illegally is a crime. I don't see it that way. For so many, it's the only path to safety. Nobody chooses where they're born. Being born in the US is a privilege. Leaders talk about protecting life, but I don't see the proof. I'm gutted, too tired to argue about who deserves to live here. To me, there are no illegals on land that was taken in the first place. If you can't feel empathy for people just trying to survive and protect their families, you're part of the problem. I hope you never have to feel this kind of pain. He had asylum status, but because of a minor traffic violation, they branded him a criminal, detained him, threatened deportation, and sent him back to certain death. And that's exactly what happened. And thanks to those suggesting I contact the media, I'd like to, but it's not my call. It's up to his family. My husband's childhood bestie asked me for a favor and then turned around and humiliated me in front of her entire family. I'm done being the nice one. For days now, this whole situation has been eating me alive. Maybe I'm being dramatic, or maybe I've just let too much slide for way too long. I'm 30, married, and honestly, I'm happy. My husband is 31 and he's pure gold. Kind, patient, hilarious, loyal, everything I could ever want, especially compared to my ex who cheated on me with his best friend. That whole mess wrecked my brain for years, but I tried not to drag the baggage into my new relationship. My husband has never given me a single reason to doubt him. Our relationship is solid. We're both outgoing and we hang out with each other's friends all the time. His circle welcomed me warmly, except for one person. Let's call her C. She's his childhood friend, and from day one she's been cold toward me. Not rude on the surface, no spicy words or open hostility, but the subtle kind of passive-aggressive nonsense that makes you uncomfortable without being able to fully call it out, you know what I mean? When we're in the same room, she'll talk to everyone except me. I still tried. I smiled, started conversations, invited her to birthdays, BBQs, even to our engagement dinner. She never showed up. She didn't even come to the wedding. The only time she reaches out is when she's been dumped and suddenly needs to talk to my husband. And yes, he always tells me about it openly, never hiding. Still, it stings. He thinks I'm overthinking, saying C is just weird socially. Maybe. But then, out of the blue, she texted me asking if I'd pose for her project. I was so caught off guard that I said yes. Honestly, a part of me thought maybe this was her trying to connect. I was excited. Wow, what a fool I was. During the shoot, the comments started about the one that got away, about a bond that can't be broken. At one point, C's mom literally said, "We always thought C would marry him, but life is funny like that." Then added, "C always dreamed of walking down the aisle with him. If anything happens, she can just replace you." Like, what? And C, she just kept clicking away with her camera, smiling. Not even a fake awkward laugh. No attempt to change the subject, nothing. My husband was clearly uncomfortable. I could see him squirming, coughing, even walking over to me to try and break the tension. But mostly, he just shut down. I stayed for a whole hour, smiled, posed, played along. But inside I felt like I'd been dragged into some twisted social experiment where everyone but me knew the rules. When we finally got in the car, he was silent for a long time. Then he said, "Sorry about that. That was weird, huh?" And I didn't even know how to respond, because it wasn't just weird, it was blatant disrespect. And the fact that he saw it, felt it, understood it, and still didn't stop it or take me out of there, that hurt. I'm exhausted from pretending this woman is just an innocent friend. She knows exactly what she's doing, and I don't want to play anymore. I don't want fights, I don't want drama, but I also don't want her orbiting our marriage even as a shadow in the background. I'm done being the cool wife who tolerates everything. I don't need validation from someone who made it clear from day one that I'm the extra. Thanks for letting me scream into the void. I just had to get this out. My husband passed away last week. He was 47. I'm 38. Our 6-year-old son and I woke up and found him gone on the couch. I'm shattered. We all are. The same day, I met with his parents and brother. We agreed, no fancy funeral. He was private, quiet, a bit of a hermit. Just close family, intimate, respectful. Then my mom arrived. I explained our plan and she said, but my friends will be offended if they can't come and say something. My friends don't know me. They never met my husband. I had no energy to argue, so I just stayed quiet. 2 days later, as I left her house to go to the funeral home, she called after me, please set up a space for me and my friends. Excuse me? Who reserves seats at a funeral? I can already see her dragging me to her little entourage, showing everyone what a caring mother with a grieving daughter she is. Today she even called to warn me that some of her friends might be late. I don't even know these people. She said they're only normal when they've had a few drinks. I told her gently, at the funeral, I'll be grieving, not hosting a cocktail party. She was shocked. How could you even say that? Well, here's the truth. I don't want her friends there. I don't care if they're offended. She won't cause an open scene, I know that, but she'll pull me aside, smiling, shaking hands, playing perfect mom while I'm falling apart. Not this time. Update. The funeral is in just over an hour. The first hour is for close family only. Changing the date or time would cost extra, I checked. The whole process has drained my wallet. This week, I even had to ask for grocery help. Humiliating. But there is one bright spot. My best friend volunteered to keep an eye on my mom during the service. I just sent her this post and she instantly knew what to do. Thank you for the kind words. Today is the hardest day of my life. My husband once sent me private photos of me to someone else. To this day, I can't process what happened. Honestly, I'd be less shocked if Bigfoot rang my doorbell. Here's the background. I live in the Middle East, where it's common to have a live-in housekeeper. For months, I'd been getting weird anonymous texts from random numbers claiming that my housekeeper was doing sussy stuff at my place while we were gone. I ignored them. She has kids and is on video call with her husband literally 24/7. He monitors her every move. Then one morning, just after I woke up, I got a message from a Saudi number. It included a still frame of her doing single-player gaming in my house. The sender claimed she was selling those clips to neighbors. I confronted her. She swore she never did that she's always on call with her jealous husband. She said they're both working hard for their kids and that he had just moved to Saudi Arabia for work. I told her the message came from a Saudi number and asked for her husband's contact. The number matched exactly. I explained that I don't judge her, but I have kids in the house and can't allow that behavior under my roof. She denied everything and asked for proof. After she left, she texted me again demanding evidence. I sent her the screenshots and the oopsie pic. She thanked me, then admitted she only did such things during private video calls with her husband. Which means, yeah, he's the one who sent me her photo while talking to her. How can someone be so insanely possessive and at the same time send his wife's spicy pics to a stranger? What kind of circus logic is that? We were together 9 years. My husband has a serious spinal surgery ahead, and instead of growing up, he chose betrayal, denial, and cruelty. I don't understand. Why did he hit me? Why did he cheat? Why did he twist everything to blame me when I gave so much? He had every chance to become better. I could have forgiven the betrayal, but I cannot live with the person he turned into. I'm 23. I live alone in a small apartment in eastern Slovakia. I work from home, pay rent, not rich. I've never raised kids in my life. I'm still in university, part-time. My classes are on weekends, but now she's living with me. That first night, she didn't say a word on the way home. I showed her the apartment, gave her food, almost no reaction. Later, when I went to bed, I just broke down. It was 2 a.m. and I cried harder than I had in years. I couldn't stop thinking, what the heck am I doing? How am I supposed to raise a child when I can barely manage my own life? The family won't help. Everyone is judging, and technically, she's not even my niece. She's my aunt. Yeah, sounds wild. She's my mom's half-sister, but she's only 4 years old. That night, I never fell asleep. Around 3 a.m., she had a little accident. She didn't cry, just tried to hide the blanket so I wouldn't notice. My heart shattered. I told her it was okay, helped her change, cleaned up. The next morning, I explained we needed to go shopping for her things. The store is just 5 minutes away, but it took us 15 to get there. She was determined to walk by herself, refusing to hold my hand. On the way back, she was so tired she nearly collapsed on the sidewalk. I asked if I could carry her. She said no at first, but after a couple more steps, I just picked her up. She gave me this tiny annoyed look, but didn't resist. Back home, I cooked her breakfast, thanks to a friend who texted me recipes. Then I said we needed to go sort out guardianship papers. I thought it would just be filling out an application, but nope. It all started right away. Chaos. I brought everything I could: my passport, grandpa's death certificate, her medical card, a letter requesting temporary custody. But the moment we walked into the social services office, one of the workers just shredded me to pieces. Cold, harsh, icy stare. "You're still a kid yourself. How do you plan to raise another kid? You don't even have rights over her. She'll be better off with her mother." She said this while Lena sat silently on my lap. I looked down and saw tears rolling down her cheeks. No sound, just silent crying, shaking in my arms. I apologized politely, stood up, hugged Lena, and said we'd come back later. We went to a small cafe, had ice cream, sat in silence. I quietly told her we'd still have to go back and face that scary office lady, but I promised I'd be there every second. She nodded. When we returned, the woman wasn't any warmer, but at least she explained the process. Social workers will visit us, they'll try to track down her mother. If they find her, she'll have legal priority as the biological parent. But I'm not giving up. If that woman abandoned Leanna once, she'll do it again, and I won't let that happen. It's late now, I'm exhausted, but I just want to say this somewhere. I love this little girl. We've only known each other for 3 days, and I'd already do anything to protect her. Still, I'm terrified. I work from home so I can take care of her, but on weekends I have university. I'll probably have to quit school. Our town is too small to have babysitters. I already put my motorcycle up for sale to cover her needs, and sometimes I wonder, who's ever gonna want to date a 23-year-old guy with a 4-year-old kid? I feel like I gave up my entire past life for someone who deserves better. And you know what? I don't regret it, but I'm scared and so tired. I'm just trying not to break. 7 months ago, my husband physically hit me. It started early in the morning when he mocked me for not taking care of him because of his neck and body pains. All day he insulted me, calling me a bad wife. By midnight, I tried to leave. He snatched my phone and wallet, holding them out of reach. I begged calmly, but he refused to return them. So I grabbed him from behind, trying to get my things. That's when he punched me in the eye. I tried to run out several times, but he dragged me back inside. I screamed for help until finally a friend called the police and they took me away. The next day, I moved out with help. When we later tried talking, he denied everything, claimed it wasn't a punch, just an epileptic seizure where I accidentally got in the way. Said he doesn't even remember thanks to amnesia. Reality, he had already hit me 4 or 5 times before. Slaps, shoves, always some excuse, always deflecting. When his friends found out, almost all of them cut ties. He still blames me, saying I isolated him. Truth is, I only told one friend, who then told the rest. They left on their own because they were already tired of his drama and tantrums at parties. I think I ruined my marriage by agreeing to a team project for 3. Yeah, it sounds cliche, but I swear I had no idea it would end like this. I'm 25, my husband is 26. We've been married 5 years, together since high school, 15 and 16. About a year ago, he brought up the idea. Said we'd only ever been with each other, missed the experiment years our peers had. He admitted he wanted to try a threesome with another woman. At first, I hated the idea, but he promised I wouldn't have to do anything I didn't want to. Basically, he wanted a hall pass experience, but without cheating. I thought about it for a long time. Finally, I agreed. We found a girl. She was sweet, chill, beautiful. Meeting her made me less anxious. She wasn't looking for romance, just the experience. So we did it. At first awkward, then everyone relaxed. Honestly, it was amazing. Way better than I expected. I never thought I'd enjoyed being with a woman, but I did. The problem? My husband exploded afterward. I had told him before. I didn't plan to do anything with her. He said that was fine, and if I changed my mind, also fine. Well, I did change my mind. In the moment, I got into it. And now he looks at me like I'm a stranger. Says he didn't expect me to act like that it wasn't the fantasy he imagined, and that it grosses him out. I feel horrible, disgusting, like I'm dirty, even though he was the one who pushed for this. He encouraged me. Now it feels like my marriage is collapsing. I just needed to scream this out somewhere, because inside everything is on fire. I really tried to reconcile. My boyfriend got off the forbidden Skittles, started proper meds, but deep down he stayed the same. He claimed I criticized him too much, that I was just repeating my mom's patterns, but nothing excuses hitting your partner. Then came the cheating. He confessed in December, said guilt was eating him alive. I was devastated, but didn't give up immediately. We tried couples therapy. In the very first session, he dominated the conversation, describing me with total contempt. I kept quiet, thinking it was part of healing, but he never took accountability, always shifting blame onto me. I set boundaries, start real therapy or I leave. He went once, came back saying the therapist told him he was fine. When I asked about the next session, he shrugged, not a priority. A few days later, I ended it. He exploded, called me toxic, ungrateful, incapable of growth, even threatened to throw my stuff outside. I left him everything, including half the savings I had set aside for his surgery. Thanks for reading. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments.